Okay, so my question for you, Anna, is what are your words of wisdom on life?
Hi, Jody. Well, first, my name is Anna. I am a producer and writer, and I am also a yoga teacher and an intuitive and energy healer. Um, I came up on this path because I have a family of healers. I'm actually about probably like a third or fourth generation psychic. So, an energy healer as well. My grandma used to do energy healing with her hands. And so I just kind of rolled upon this. Um, I didn't plan it, I didn't choose it, it chose me. I don't know if I have my words of wisdom would be I think that I always just I stay a student all the time. I know that we don't know nothing. I know that's been said by someone, I don't remember who, but that's what I know for sure, that we really don't know nothing, and that our brains are really very small to understand the magnificence and the greatness of this universe. So that keeps me striving and seeking to learn. It keeps me excited about life, and I think that's important to stay that way.
What thoughts or words of wisdom would you have to somebody who's maybe new on the path of wellness or just kind of exploring their own journey with wellness?
I think that if I was to give anybody one single advice, would be to meditate. We are in this era, or in this yeah, in this moment right now where we have just like the phone and so much media, and just kind of overwhelmed by all kinds of addictions to drugs, addictions to sugar, to coffee, to people, to sex. It's just like everything. It's like we're trying to fill this void with the outside world. And what meditation does, it connects you to the realm of spirit. Is kind of like the dimension of spirit that we forgot we were from the beginning. To me, that's what I teach when I do my workshops about awakening to the intuition. I go around and I teach people how to connect to their intuition, which to me feels almost so silly because it seems like something that we were born with and that we all have. So this is not a gift. Some people call it like, oh, you're gifted. I'm like, no, this is not a gift. It's just like we talk, we see, we hear. We also have intuition. So I think that's really, really important to meditate and connect to that dimension of spirit on a regular basis. Just like sit quietly with yourself and yeah, and just feel everything. Focus on all the sensations in your body and being with you, and being in the now. I think that would be.
As a teacher of kind of yoga and of wellness and of going deeper into your intuition, what would you say to someone who says, okay, I need to meditate, but how do I get started? Like, I can't sit still. I can't. What advice would you have for someone who is brand new to meditation? I love it. I love it. It's good.
Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, so I actually have a video on YouTube about this that I did like 3, 4 years ago. There's so many meditations, there's so many different meditations right now everywhere, like online, meditation for this, meditation for sleeping, for more energy, for this, and it makes it confusing. So I often get the questions like, how do you meditate? And people don't even understand what meditation is. So in my classes, what I tell them, meditation is really the art of quieting the mind. It's that simple. We have so many things going on in your mind. So it's just about quieting the mind. So just sit down in a comfortable place, straighten your spine, and just focus on your breathing. That's what I say. You don't need a guided meditation. You don't need meditation for this or for that. Just sit down, close your eyes, and focus on your breath, in and out of your breath. You just like, and you kind of use your breath as your mantra. And, it takes a little while. It's going to take a little while to train the mind, especially if you've never done it, because we're so used to it. It's just like training our bodies, training, being careful about what you eat, and we don't take care of the mind. And so it's going to take a little bit. You may go, if you do it every day, I would recommend 20 minutes a day. And I'm sure a lot of people think like, oh, that's so much. I don't have 20 minutes. But I bet most people spend more than 20 minutes scrolling through Instagram nowadays or something like that. So we do have 20 minutes a day. Sit quietly in a comfortable spot where you're not going to be bothered, and just be with you. Focus on your breath. The more you do it, after a week, you're gonna feel the difference in yourself, in your spirit. You're gonna become more sensitive to everything, more aware of your feelings, of your sensations, of other people's feelings and sensations, and once 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month goes by, it really starts to change the way that you look at the world. All of a sudden you're driving and you're looking at the birds. You can hear the wind, things that you never even saw before because you were driving to work maybe, and you had all these things. I have to do this, I have to do that, and blah, blah, blah. So you kind of start seeing the world in a 3D kind of thing, just more beautiful. And yeah, the more you do it, like the window of stillness, when you first sit, sometimes you are kind of there, and then a thought comes by and you get tangled on it, and then you're like, oh, hold on, I'm meditating, go back. And you start for like a couple seconds, and then another thought comes by and you like get in it again. And that happens at the beginning, but the more that you sit, that little window of quietness gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you get to a point where you can sit down and it feels like a switch. And then you feel so satisfied and so good. It's just like sleeping. Like it feels just so yummy to sit there and be with you. And that's when you know that you're on the path, because then your spirit is really guiding you through life. You're not resistance when you approach bad energy. You just remove yourself. You don't experience resistance against life. You don't fight Mother Nature or life. You just go with the flow gracefully. So it changes your life. So I would say that will be the one single advice I would give everyone.
Well, and you started to go where kind of my mind was going as I was listening to you, is to say, well, how would someone know if it's working? Is the meditation working? Because naturally, as human beings, we want to know, right? We want it right now. We want to see the difference. And so I love what you said about how you acknowledge that it's a very normal process to have thoughts come in. You can get lost in that, and you have to come back to the breath, like you said, focus on the breath. And but that's a very normal thing that will happen. It doesn't matter, you know, how long you've meditated. It will happen. Thoughts are always in our mind. And like how you said too, you know, that window of stillness gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you find that place of stillness. And I loved how you also said, you know, it becomes that your spirit's guiding you through life rather than you forcing or fighting or resisting. And it sounds like to me what you're saying too is you're just way more tuned in, like you're aligned, you're connected to a much larger source,
Yeah.
if you will.
And that's what I really do in my classes and my workshops about intuition. People go because they want to wake up this like magical strength. And I'm really almost tricking them into really tuning in, because intuition is the language of the universe. See, the universe works on a vibrational space. So when you connect to spirit, it's necessary really for you to identify with your spirit. People who identify themselves with the mind can't really make the connection of why is this working. So that's the first thing that I teach, is to identify with your spirit, because we see a lot of sick people that are brain dead, right? But are still alive, very much alive. We also see a lot of people that are vegetable. Their bodies doesn't work, but they're still very much alive too. So who are we really? We are our spirit. We are this energy field that we hold in this space, and we're all connected. And this spirit holds a vibrational language. It's the language of the universe. So when you connect and you tune in and you quiet your mind, it's much easier to hear that and to see where the universe wants you to go, because you're connected to that, to the vibrational space of the universe.
You know, as you were talking, you said intuition a couple times, and you said in your workshops you talk about people they think they're coming to connect to this magical power, and you said, you know, I'm just really teaching them to go in, and that made the connection for me. Intuition, you know, like you're going inward, right? And then you know, you said it's the language of the universe. Love that. That's beautiful. I've never heard it put that way. And it's so true. It's going inward to be able to listen, because when we're out here, or we're in our phone, or we're chasing another addiction of some sort, or, you know, whatever the case is, we are so far removed from being able to go within. So everything does feel like a force or a fight, or, you know, like it's just, everything can feel challenging. So if someone was interested in taking one of your workshops, either with you face-to-face, or do you offer anything virtually, how would they find you?
Yeah, you can find me at info@anaguarisma.com. Just send me an email, or you can also like slide into my DMs, how they say.
Yeah.
Instagram or something. I'm like everywhere. Have my website, anaguarisma.com, but probably the easiest way would be to reach me by email.
Okay. Great.
And I do private consultations. I'm doing workshops all the time. I do yoga classes, all kinds of stuff.
Well, thank you for sharing your words of wisdom with us today. Without a doubt, very inspiring, thought-provoking, and I think even allowed me to shift some of my thoughts and energy around some things that I've been struggling with too. So because we're all human beings, right? We can struggle with the human experience. So we're all kind of having this experience, and we forget that there is a much larger language for us to listen to and hear that will always be there to guide us.
Yes,
So,
so much more powerful, so much more
yes,
powerful, because that's where our highest power is. It's in the spirit.
you're
It's not
right.
shenanigans that were happening here in the physical world.
That's so true. I love these shenanigans. That's exactly what it is, right? We're all just kind of playing these different roles with these sets and people and characters, and yeah, it's way bigger than that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
well, thank you again for your words of wisdom, and uh, can't wait to stay connected with you and have you sharing your light with the world. So
Yeah, please, please, whenever you're in Miami, just, send me a message and we'll connect.
wonderful. Well,